Buddy? We'll rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Happy New Year to all.
Happy New Year. Here we go.
Yes, indeed. We have Sandy on Zoom. Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
No other additions, right?
No.
So moved.
Second. You have first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The minutes from 12/20, I should say the minutes from last year.
Yeah, I'll make that motion
Second.
to approve.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any more discussion on the minutes? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. General public concerns. Nobody else on Zoom. No one here. We will move on. Well, we're down to looking to get a new chair.
I think the chair that's sitting there is really doing a fine job, and I'm good with it.
It's up to you.
If I don't vote.
If I don't vote now while you have the chance. I don't know. I can't make a motion, so I guess all we can say is that
I'm not gonna
I don't
make
want to
a
know
motion.
with either one of you guys, because I really do like you both, but there's some, I just will make a comment, there's some boards of supervisors that, they do vote every year.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's, as long as the person is still in office, they remain the
They
chair.
keep them there, yeah.
It's just up to the board, I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically like any board, you know, you may be the chair for some time, and this board over historically has just rotated members, and that's just the way it is. Not that it's, there's nothing set in stone, it's however the board wants to do it. So,
Well, I'm not gonna make my own motion, so if somebody else...
Well, I can't.
I know.
Well, Sandy?
Hey, but I think it's my turn after that to be vice chair, so I don't know if I should make the motion either, but I can. I'll make the motion for, Bruce to be the chair and myself to be the vice chair.
Well, I guess I'll second that. Okay, we have a motion on the floor, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed?
That was a late aye, Bruce.
You're on delay.
Motion carries.
Okay.
Okay, well, Bruce, I'm gonna turn the meeting over to you.
All right, thanks. Well, first
But
of
I'm
all...
gonna keep my chair till after noon.
That's fine. I got a drawer that I need to probably bring in a garbage container to fill, so... First off, I'd like to tell you thank you, Rick, for your leadership the last year.
Thank you, Rick.
We have a lot of things that go on behind the, and meetings that you attend and phone calls you field, and so, long story short, it's a long year sometimes.
Yeah, it went well, I thought, for all of our changes that we've had.
And I guess that would be the other thing I'd say, that the chairman is the chairman, but we have 4 other people that help keep the chair in line, so we're happy with the way things are. So, anyway, I guess the first order is to act on all of our appointments that we partake in on, a week or a monthly basis, so...
I'm looking at the list, thank you for providing that. I think that's inclusive, in other words, we're not missing any boards.
The only one that I would question is, the new one that we're putting together, the safety
Oh, the safety board.
board that, Ben wants to get going, so we're gonna have to get the groundwork
Yeah.
for how and who, but Rick and I have agreed that, or the board has agreed that we'll have the chair and the former chair.
The chair and the vice chair. So
Okay.
that way, if anything spills over into the next year, the vice chair knows what's going on.
There you go.
That's a good
That's
idea.
a good idea.
You know,
Is that the safety?
know what I'm saying, when it splits over 2 years, that way the vice chair has a clue what's going on.
I can't remember how many people they thought that board should consist of.
There's gonna be about 5 to 7, 5 for sure.
5 to 7, and they're gonna have like various courthouse officers.
Yep.
Probably the department heads.
Yeah, and then that was, yeah, it was more geared towards the workman's comp
It's
stuff,
basically workman's comp stuff.
Finding,
essentially.
places that people could
Well-
help
Yeah,
on their return
yep,
to
I know.
Back to the
hourly.
workforce.
Right.
And review the cases as
Yeah.
they come up.
Yeah.
That's the way I understood it.
Mhm.
All right.
I guess, I mean,
Mostly, like, we're having a reoccurrence of people injuring their back. We find out, why is this happening?
Yeah.
yeah,
Rather than just keep paying the claims.
yep, I understand that.
Right, but also it's to make sure that we're looking, being proactive instead of reactive also.
Right.
You know, to help get at those things too, which would help us in the long run also.
Right.
I guess we kinda half-heartedly decided that whenever they get that committee or whatever put together, it'll be the chairperson and the vice chairperson
Yep.
for the board of supervisors, like Rick said, just to keep up to speed on what's going on with it.
I know a lot of years we go through these one by one. Is it necessary to do
No.
that?
I think we go through them, that's why I asked if this is inclusive, and you guys said that board is yet to be formed, but for our board, we already decided the chairperson and vice chairperson. I have a addition on Second Judicial District Correctional Service Board. I'm still on that. Dave Lee is the alternate. That's just not listed, so make
Oh,
sure.
it's not listed.
And because the, nice secretary from that board asked me, and she said, is Dave still the alternate? I said, yes, so, Dave's not here, he's still the alternate.
So Dave just signed on to Zoom. I just saw him.
Hey, Dave!
Can't even talk. We can't see, oh, there he is now, we can see him.
Hey!
Can't hear you.
The other,
You're muted. You're muted, Dave. Oh, he's looking.
my other,
I've only been trying to get on for about 15 minutes.
yeah,
I think the
Hazmat.
internet there at
I
the
think
courthouse,
that's backwards.
about every other word gets bleeped a little bit.
Is it?
I think that-
That's a censorship thing we have.
Yeah. You can hear it kinda coming and going.
And Bruce hasn't even been over yet.
I'm gonna hear it. Hey, Dave, on hazmat, aren't you the representative on hazmat?
Yeah, on Region 5.
Right, well, it has me listed and you as the alternate. I've never been to a meeting, so I just we need to switch those around.
Where are you at now? Let's see if I can get this.
We have this board appointments, Trish sent out a list.
Yep.
Hazmat is about, 5 or 6 from the bottom. 1, 2, 3,
It
4,
says
5,
I'm connected.
7 from the
No, I don't know
bottom.
if you can see it on mine, Dave, it's down here at the bottom. So
Okay,
about
let
7.
me get that.
7 up from the bottom.
But it has Bruce Reimers and Lee, David Lee, so you're,
Yeah, that's the way it was.
I've never been to a meeting, so I thought it was the other way around.
But it doesn't really say alternate, because some of these appointments does say alternate between them. So, yeah.
Well, on the other side of you and I are the joint on the landfill commission, and I've never met this guy yet.
I'll invite you.
I'd like to, at least sometime if you're gone, so that I don't get drug out there and know what I don't even have a clue what we're doing, so.
Bring a thermos of coffee.
There you go.
Takes a while.
Oh, boy.
I stopped up yesterday and got that packet, but I don't see that one that she sent out.
I just printed it this morning, I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna be here.
So, anybody have any other questions on these then? Any other conditions, or anybody are all satisfied with these?
Hang on, let me...
Let me just run through them again real quickly. You guys,
All of mine look correct.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with what I see.
I think so.
Mine all look good too, except for, when I was reading it last night. I had a question on one of them. Now, the ones that go
The ones that go with the, chairman, that, moves, does that stay the same?
The ones that
There's
go,
always 2 or 3 that was with the chairman.
Well, the, health insurance one, we switched that a year ago or 2 years ago, so I'm that person. It doesn't switch with that anymore.
Right.
what about
Isn't it
the,
the LEC one? I think is it the LEC one that you're talking about, Dave?
No.
no, it was,
That's the point, 911 and EMA have been, their bylaws have been changed to a member of the Board of Supervisors, so therefore being a glutton for punishment,
you're staying with
I'm
that.
staying on both of them.
Did you get that, Dave?
What's that now? I
The,
gotta figure out how to run this thing up.
It should be, are you on a computer? It should be on the side, Dave.
Yeah, usually a little puzzle there, but
It could be on your keyboard too, if you see like a little microphone thing, you punch that, I think it's F, look on F3.
mine's the star.
Oh, really?
F of 8 is the plus.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you good now if I can hear the other guys.
That's 'cause we're not talking.
that's right.
You can hear us better, Dave.
Well, can you hear me, Dave? Does this microphone work? Can
I
you?
can hear you now.
Okay, both EMA and 911 service boards changed their bylaws a couple of years ago to reflect a member of the Board of Supervisors. It is no longer the chairperson. So, as long as they have a member on those boards, that works. And I made mention that being a glutton for punishment means I'm on them, I'll stay on them for this year.
Okay.
All right, so if everybody's happy with them,
I'll make a motion to approve the appointments to the various boards and commissions as printed, basically as they were last year.
And any,
I'll second that.
with any minor corrections.
with the
that we-
addition that when we get this other board put together, we'll...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we already have we know where that's
All right.
headed.
All right.
Okay.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay. All right, now we are designating the Humboldt Independent.
There's more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got another,
We've got more committees.
We have more committees, sorry. Appoint the following members, page 2, appoint the following member, boards for calendar 2022. The Courthouse Committee, Chairman of the Board of Supervisors and the Auditor. Conservation, renew a term for Bob Rasmussen, and we'll need to fill the vacancy for Bob Mosier. Todd's gonna let us know on that one. Board of Adjustment, is that the one you talked about?
Mm-hmm. Just renew Harvey.
Board of Adjustment I will take again.
Okay,
And I sent a text off to, Jolene, and, 'cause we have a meeting Thursday or Friday this week, and she's gonna get ahold of Linda and, see if she will stay on the board.
so we have,
Board of Health.
no adjustment. What he said,
Board of
he said
Adjustment.
he would take it, he's on it.
Yeah, Board of Adjustment, I'll stay on.
Okay.
And we were renewing Harley Freeburn?
Free Slavin.
Free
Slavin.
Okay. Zoning,
We'll have to get a hold of him.
Randy Krecklow did get a hold of him, apparently, and he said that he would stay on, and then zoning with Luke Erpelding.
okay. Zoning and Planning Board is Luke Erpelding, Board of Health, Linda Lynch. Is that, what's the question mark? Do we need to touch base with her?
We gotta get a hold of her, and Jolene is supposed to get a hold of her, and see if she wants to stay on it.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, and I'm assuming you're gonna stay on the Veteran Affairs, Dave?
Yeah, I'll stay on there.
Okay. Then we have the appointment, are we doing these all in blocks, or are we gonna do them
I think we should just do them all together.
all together? All right.
So, I have a question on the ones below, eminent domain board, compensation committee, so we got all these listed. Is everyone good there?
They're just a rolling,
Yeah, well, I
Resource.
know, yeah.
I mean, these appear to be filled, as it's talking about the different categories. So, those are all still intact as we speak? So is that kind of its own separate block, or can, and my other question was, where it says appoint county personnel policy committee, is that basically the committee, or do you need to name a person
just
behind that?
whoever's in that position, I would say.
That's what I'm understanding, so those are the folks, so that's pretty well self-explanatory. So we could essentially do both of these together, or do all of the boards together? Is that fair to everyone? Because if it is, I would make a motion to, appoint members to the following boards for the calendar year as listed for the Courthouse Committee, Conservation Board of Adjustment, Zoning and Planning, Board of Health, Veterans Affairs, and then, I'm not gonna read off, but the eminent domain board as printed with no changes, along with the, County Personnel Policy Committee, which is basically the officers of the various offices of the county. That would cover all of those.
Is that good by you guys?
I'll second Eric's motion.
All right. We have a motion and a second to basically appoint the first two pages. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Pose same sign, and we'll get you guys a copy, if you don't have a copy of all the names here. All right, now we go to page 3. Now we can designate the Humboldt Independent as the official county newspaper for the calendar year 2022. Set the mileage rate for the fiscal year. The federal rate is at 58.5.
Should we do these just one bullet point at a time?
I suppose.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to designate the Humboldt Independent as the official county newspaper for...
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Now the mileage rate for 22-23, federal rate is 58.5. In 22, our rate was 56. Are you good with that?
I would set, I think this was saying that the federal rate for 2022 was set at 56 cents. I believe we are currently at 55 cents in Humboldt County.
Eric, we can't hear you.
We're at, our county is currently set at 55 cents a mile.
Right. And what do they wanna go up to?
And,
Federal rate is 58.5.
58.5.
Well,
I think the price of fuel fluctuates enough that we can just leave it where it's at. We're not paying the
I would
highest
think
price
so.
in the country.
We're not, no, for the next fiscal year, I'll make the motion to remain at 55 cents a mile for the mileage rate.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second for 55. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. All right, authorize the, oops, I skipped one. Set the meal reimbursement for county employees attending training, 22-23. Currently, it's $50 a day, including the mileage.
Is that right?
So,
Includes the mileage, or?
it's...
Oh, I'm sorry, excludes, sorry.
Including tip.
Include
Including tip.
Yeah, including tip.
Right.
I don't think I've ever used my $50. I mean, by the time they usually have, like down at ISAC, they usually have
They usually provide
donut or
breakfast.
breakfast, something.
Lunch,
Yeah,
maybe supper, but
I think it's fine where it's at, but if you went somewhere and you ate 3 meals a day, that would not cover it.
not even close.
No.
Right.
Well, given the fact, oh, go ahead, Sandy.
No, it wouldn't, I mean, if you had to go, there was, I can't remember what meeting I was at, and they didn't provide a meal, and I can't remember what it was, I can't remember what it was now. But I think I just went down there, and I ended up having to buy for lunch and dinner.
Well,
It was close.
I would say, given the fact that apparently we just don't travel a lot, in most of the places we travel, the meals are provided, I would make the motion to bump that up to just $10. I would bump it to $60 a day meal expense, including tip, just so that we have a little bit of coverage when we do have to buy a meal or two.
Okay.
Well, restaurants are raising their prices too, because of the inflation and everything.
So, I'm not gonna go crazy, but I think $60 would at least, if we get into a situation, that'll cover a meal or two for a person. So, I would make the motion for $60, including tip.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second for $60, increasing it by 10. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, authorize the auditor to pay certain bills, before formal board approval, payroll, insurance, emergency expense, et cetera. Sometimes this keeps us out of a late fee when, a bill's due before the next meeting.
I'll make a motion to authorize the auditor to pay bills, certain bills before formal board approval.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, we are good. Adopt resolution 2022-1, resolution concerning farm-to-market, construction projects. Is that you, Ben?
That would be me, yes.
Oh, there he is.
All right,
Didn't recognize you.
I'll make that motion for the resolution 2022-1 for farm-to-market construction projects.
I'll second that.
All right, do we need to formally read that, or we're good with that?
I don't think it's any different than it
Yeah,
ever has been.
I don't think it's been
I don't think
any-
it changed.
All right,
The
so...
DOT approved the language years ago.
Right, all right, so, we have a motion and a second for resolution 2022-1. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to harpoon you.
There's two when he comes to now, too.
This part of this,
And then that'll be the third one.
did you get drum blood?
Try to.
Okay, there was a question on that master matrix, and, every year you have to do that. If you had the same ordinance that we put in our resolution, we put on last year, you could just copy that. We gotta do that every year, or we, have no say-so in it when they build a building or change property or anything.
Okay. And that's what that third one is.
Right.
Yep, that, I'll make a motion on resolution 2022-2, authorize, nope, wrong one. 2022-3, a resolution adopting the master matrix.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to adopt 2022-3 as the master matrix. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Anything to the DNR about that, or do we just something to place on file?
I think we placed it, but I'll look
Okay.
into it.
All right.
Two.
Now we go back up to 2, we'll do adopt
That we did it.
Resolution 22-2, resolution authorizing our county engineer to close roads for repairs. Nothing,
Is there any changes
There's no...
from previous years?
No.
You said you have to do this every year.
We're able to close the road for construction projects and...
It's 9 o'clock.
Okay, 9 o'clock somewhere. So, no, that's just, it's a formality, it's not
Language.
same thing as road closings.
Again, it's DOT language to allow the counties to be able to close the road for construction projects.
Okay, so therefore I would make the motion to, did we get a motion or?
No, I don't think so yet.
Okay, I'll make that motion for the adoption of, number 2022-2, the authorization of the county engineer to close roads for repairs.
all right, we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Aye, we lost the other ones.
All right.
Fed up with this.
I guess that's good.
Yeah, they just went away.
We lost Sandy's reception there.
Yeah.
So, 2022-2 is good. Passes. And 1 we've already done. So,
Oh, I jumped ahead of myself.
Yeah, you did, Dave.
Anybody wanna open the door, I'll throw his computer out in the yard.
I believe Trish can tell us, but the last page was the 2022-3 construction evaluation resolution.
And that's the master matrix.
That's the master matrix.
And that's essentially about like everything else, they have not changed it, but like Dave said, if we don't adopt it, we have absolutely nothing to go by.
Right.
As much as we've discussed that,
very little to go by anyway.
it's not what
Adopt
we're...
it, we can't do a whole lot about it anyway.
Yeah, but if we don't have it, we got nothing, and with this, we got slightly less than nothing,
Yeah, you gotta do it every year.
right? It's like, apparently every year you have to be authorized to put a road sign up.
Kinda like, well, we acknowledge the fact that we can't do nothing about it.
Right.
Yeah. It's a dummy one for me, that's what I believe, because there ain't nothing you can do about it. You gotta do it, and it ain't gonna make any difference, because they changed that about a year and a half or 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But, before you had to do it every year, now you gotta do it every year, but way their ordinance, or, I think it's their ordinance, reads is, if it's ag land, you can do whatever you want to on it. You can put houses up, you can put grain bins, you can put everything without a permit.
All right, so we've went through the list, we've got both of the sheets, or all of our sheets covered. Are we down to committees?
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah,
we've turned over a new leaf.
I think so.
Sorry.
Must be that chairman.
We must, if Sandy's gone, Dave, have you got any reports?
Looking it up here. Trying to figure out the last page. I had a, VA meeting, 28th, on Tuesday. We went down to, approved all the bills, and we're probably about the same for clientele down there. We come in under budget, I believe. We're sitting there right now under budget, so I think that's all I had last week.
Okay. Eric, do you have any?
Well, I'm going back to the 20th of December. I stopped here for the compensation board meeting at 1 o'clock that afternoon, on the 20th. Also, the afternoon of the 20th, I had a building families meeting at Clarion, that was later afternoon meeting. On Tuesday, the 21st, we had a Public Safety Commission meeting, LEC meeting, that morning of the 21st on Tuesday. And that's what I had since our last meeting.
I had, 20th, the compensation board here at the courthouse, and then on the 21st, I had also the LEC in the morning. That was it for me.
All of mine at the end of the month have been moved to the first part of this month. I would let you know that, Jamie from Udno has left us. He's moving back to Kansas City area, which is where he came from, so they are in the process of, starting the process of trying to find someone to...
Where was he before he moved back there? Where did he reside?
Well, he's been up in Grettinger with us at Udmo for about 10 years, but he came from down that area.
And he's going
And he
back.
has children with grandchildren. Well, we all know when you have that magnet, you are stretched, and so he is taken and accepted a position down there, and I think I'm not sure the exact date, but he's leaving.
So they doing a search for it.
Yeah, they have a lady right now that is, gonna be filling the position until they get something done. So, it's kind of a shock right before Christmas, we got that email, so.
Big one for that board.
Yeah, and they cover a lot of areas, so we're kind of on the edge of our seat, hoping we can get someone back into that position, so I guess that would be and, next week on the 13th, we're having a strategic planning for, CFR on what their plans are moving forward with the deal in Iowa City and Des Moines. So, that's all I have. Anything else?
I had something, but now it slipped my mind. We got a zoning report, well, the only thing is, Trish sent out, let's see, we adopted our master matrix. What's that? Oh. And that there was an application that came in for a hog site, that you noticed.
Up in Wacusta,
Wacusta for site, and so...
That's probably what generated the master matrix.
No, that's a formality.
No, I know, but if they noticed we had...
But we have this, and then, so there is, and we need to look through this, and then mention, Trish, probably have to put this on next week's meeting, because there is some formalities of public notice and such. We haven't had a new application for several years.
Well, so many of them are under the 2,500 head.
This must be more than...
More than that, otherwise you don't have to go through all that.
But I might make the suggestion, I don't know if Randy, our zoning administrator, has any knowledge of this. I might make a suggestion of contacting him to get the details, because of...
Didn't he do that the last couple that were built? I thought he did.
Yeah, he's been out for the building of them.
But this is just the application, but it entails public notice and all that fun stuff. Do we need to do that? Apparently we do, because we were sent this from the DNR. So we might want to make sure by at least next meeting that if need be, we do it. But could you touch base with Randy, Trish? I hope he's...
That's all it says is Wacusta.
One site, yeah. It says Wacusta 4 is what they call the site.
And there is already one there.
Oh.
Do you know?
What's that?
Do you know what section?
So is it going on an existing building site and they're adding to it? Is that
I think that's what it's looking like.
Okay, and that's probably why, 'cause we're getting over the head count.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, and I did talk to and she's very nice, Cindy Garza from the DNR office. And she said, it looks like an addition. So there may have even been a tearing down of one building and building a new one, but she couldn't say for sure.
Yeah, okay.
So, but that is the technicality, and if there's something we have to do or need to do, then we should do it. But now that I mentioned Randy, I know he's gonna be gone quite a bit of the month of January, but if he's not gone...
Maybe he can join us by phone.
You know, but if there's something that we need to follow through on, well, we definitely wanna, there again, it'd be more of a technicality, kinda like the master matrix, but you guys all got the email that Trish sent us, and it speaks to our responsibilities of looking at the building site, having the public hearing, scoring it, recommendation to approve or disapprove the application, and then they need to be even sent a proof of the public notice. So it's...
Process we go through.
Yeah, and it's basically done this month.
Right.
So, just so Trish has got that, and if just protocol basically. And I do think it's an addition or something to an existing site.
I think I heard mention of that some time ago.
Yeah, so it's not probably something brand new, but it's still, if it's something from the DNR, we have to make sure we take care of it. So that was the only thing I was...
Hearing so that we can't do nothing about it?
Basically.
Okay, I just wanted to know...
Essentially, it's just their protocol.
Right.
Yeah, but they speak of someone scoring it, and I talked to Cindy, and she's a little fuzzy more than I was to get the clarification. Pretty sure normally the zoning administrator would go out with the DNR, and they'd run through, and, they come up with
The checklist.
They come up with a number, and basically, they always meet it, and we can't do anything about it, but if it's an addition to an existing site, it's not gonna be quite as big a deal.
No, because there's already one there.
Right, it's not like they're trying to build one
Right.
someplace we didn't care to, so. I think it's more of a formality, but we just don't wanna drop the ball on getting it taken care of.
Okay.
That's all I think, that was what I wanted to bring up.
Sandy, do you have anything for your last couple weeks? We already did our committee report.
Oh, okay, I had to get on my phone to do Zoom. Let's see. I remember last Wednesday, I had a Zoom meeting for, Rolling Hills for the mental health. And it was mostly the discussion was how, with the state taking over the financial part of it, how is that going to affect us? Are the employees, are they gonna continue to be, employees of record for the counties that they are currently, how that's gonna affect everything. So, again, the state does their, mandates, and then they don't really think the whole thing through.
Yeah,
That's kind of what the discussion was.
I don't think the problems they caused by doing these changes.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep,
Yep.
agreed.
Sorry about that, it took me a while to get back on. There must be something going on with I had to get on my cellular data.
Something wrong with the internet.
Well, I tried, from 8:15 to get on, and finally I called into the office in there, and she found me where I was supposed to go. Now I've lost the audio or the picture of it, so who knows? I'm gonna throw this thing. Has the county got any computers yet?
Yes.
When are we getting them?
Yeah, when?
How soon do you want it?
Apparently, sooner than later.
All right, well, if there's nothing else for business-wise,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. We are out at 9:14. Ben, I should ask you, did you have any